Hey everybody, this is Mr. Crafting. Today I'm doing Shigaraki versus Pain. Now this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. I really thought these characters complement each other in how they work in symbolism, and I thought it might be a good fight to put these two together. Now I've never really seen this as a debate, and I don't know why. These two characters are very similar in the way how their ideals and ideas on society is, and the way how they've been wronged. And I thought that they're very popular characters. Pain, I think, is a little bit more popular than Shigaraki, so I thought I might as well put these two together. Now, I'm more focusing on the Diva Path Pain, because he is the strongest of the bunch, but if push comes to shove, I will throw in the other paths of Pain. You know, the Naraka, Animal, Asura, Diva, or is it Diva? The other paths. Okay, I might not say the right names because they have all the other paths, but I'll be throwing those paths in anyway. So yeah, this video will be about them. Now I haven't actually gone over Pain in any of my videos, is that it's actually really easy to scale Pain, so I just will be talking about it in this video. But without further ado, I think I'll go over Shigaraki first, since I've actually done videos about him. Alright, talking about Shigaraki, so I already did a video about him, so you can go watch that video, but basically, he scales at least at 75% of All For One, because during when he was being manifested with All For One, he was being physically amped as well as the All For One quirk and all the quirks it came with, right? So when being manifested, he was actually broken out a little too soon, and I could have sworn it said he's at 80%, but apparently he was only at 75%. And we know why these 75% of All For One Shigaraki is comparable to current Vigilante Deku, or current Deku, right? The reason why we say this is because, well, current Deku is stated to be on par with All Might at 100% All For One for All with Fajin, and it was also stated that now Stars and Stripes is also is as strong as All Might as well, and he fought against her at 75% of All For One, as well as he himself was even stated just with pure quirks alone, because they used the Eraserhead's Erasure quirk to neutralize his quirks. His pure physical strength was on par as strong as All Might. So yeah, he's at 75% of his power with even no quirks at all. He's as strong as All Might. And we actually scaled off Deku's earlier feat against 9, which that movie is canon, by the way, if you didn't know. And we know that 9 makes a storm that dwarfs the entire island they are inhabited on, and just one punch from Deku at 100% is able to split the cloud storm and everything. It had to be evaporation, so that's the only way to get rid of the clouds, right? And the speed and rate it was used at, it would have been able to outpoint 4.45 times 10 to the 26 joules of energy. That's accounting for 75% of All For One, right? So that means that Shigaraki is already multi-continental. Now, since Shigaraki is at 100% of All For One, he would be at least 0.25 times stronger, or should be able to outpoint 5.562 times 10 to the 26 joules of energy, which is still multi-continental. Again, I've already gone over all of this, so if I'm not giving you enough details, you can just go watch my other videos about Deku and Shigaraki. Now, also talking about, that's one way to scale Shigaraki. Now, we do know he says he as strong as All Might. Now, we don't know if they're talking about prime or non-prime All Might. If they're talking about a prime All Might, well, that means this Shigaraki could very well be 69 stronger, just due to the fact that All Might in his prime said he could defeat the perfect Nomu with just 5 blows in his prime, and now he could do 300, so 300 divided by 5 is 60, so he could very well be 60 times stronger. Anyway, and I personally agree that he is actually as strong as current All Might, due to him being All For One, even just comparing him to this All Might, and All For One knows what a prime All Might is, as well as even Stars and Stripes would also know. Anyway, so let's go over to the speed for Shigaraki. Now, Shigaraki's speed is actually very easy. I did a whole video talking about it as well. Now, we are getting a lot of light speed feats from the My Hero, with Stars and Stripes being able to catch and react to lasers, even be able to dodge Shigaraki's radio waves, which radio waves travel at the speed of light, and he's able to contend with her at just 75% of All For One. Now, we know if he had 100% All For One, he would at least be 0.25 times faster, and that means Shigaraki would be over 1.5 375 times the speed of light. And again, if you go with the fact that they're most likely, I personally think they're talking about Prime All Might, but you don't have to believe that. If you go with the fact that, you know, it's a Prime All Might they're talking about, then he could be very well 60 times faster. Now that kind of covers up all of Shigaraki's stats and attributes. Let's talk about his abilities. So originally he only had the 1 quirk Decay, which now currently with just 1 touch of Decay can spread throughout an entire massive city that like is like basically the range of like a large mountain. Like just 1 touch, not even like trying to do anything, just like touch the ground, right? And it can, whatever it touches, it will spread to, and it will get rid of until the contact is severed. And it's actually gone amp. Even if you would sever the contact, most likely it would still travel through, like how the Earth person, the person with the Earth manipulation quirk would try to sever the connection, but it's still just pushed through it. Anyway, but now with All For One, he has many other abilities, like the ability to steal other quirks, as well as a hyper regeneration quirk that can make him heal from almost any injury instantaneously. Radio waves, which is more of like a air blast attack he uses. He also can combine quirks. Now, Shigaraki, well, All For One has a lot of quirks, so I'm not going to go over every individual one, but like basically every quirk we've seen All For One display, Shigaraki has those quirks. And I'm pretty sure that's all that, you know, is. Oh yeah, technically would even have a teleportation quirk as well, I guess. But anyway, and I think that's all talking about all the quirks he would have. And I guess one more quirk I'll mention is the search quirk. The search quirk allows him, when he looks on an enemy, he can see all their weaknesses they would have and how their abilities work. That's actually a really overpowered quirk. Even All For One himself said he needed to take it. That's how overpowered it was. Anyway, so that kind of covers up Shigaraki. Now let's move over to the pain portion of this video. Alright, so moving on to the pain portion of this video. Pain is actually very easy to go over, which is why I didn't need a video for him. So, most of the gods here are put at like the country level, which is a pretty makes sense since they would have to fight the Biju. Most of the lower tier Biju, like the 1 tails, which 1 through like maybe 5 or 4 tails would be most likely country level due to some statements they have, and not to mention their Biju bombs. Now anyway, even like Pain's own like Chubaku Tensei was calculated large country level, which would, you know, make it pretty good. Now I wanted to give my own thoughts on like the benefit of doubt to make, since I did give Shigaraki his own benefit of doubt of how much strong he would be. So I wanted to calculate like just the strongest I could make Pain would, and be saying that if he did completely scale to 6 tails Naruto, which, you know, you can make your own stuff if he did or not, but he did at least scale somewhat to him. So they would have to go back to my old scaling for KCM Naruto. So we know that the 9 tails beast is multi-continental due to the statement saying that he had enough power to turn the world to ash. Now when they say world, they are talking, usually most people, even except the programmer and most people in most translations, says turn the earth to ash. Now it is most likely talking about the like earth as in the surface of the earth, which would make that a multi-continental feat. Now Naruto at the time only had half of Kuruma's power, which I found KCM1 would be would make him continental. Now if you divide KCM1, which is half of the 9 tails, by 6, because he's only used 6 tails mode against, you know, Pain, then that would make Pain and Naruto at 6 tailed mode able to outpoint 1.059 times 10 to the 24 joules energy, which is like large country level to continental. That's actually, like I said, it's very easy to go over Pain. You just kind of scale them off like how I did. I just found that, you know, half of Kuruma's power in KC1 would have been continental. Divide that by 3. It's large country through multi-continental. Large country through continental. And that would make, you know, Pain, since he was able to fight 6 tails mode, Naruto able, you know, on par with that, making him large country through continental. And in terms of speed, we do get pretty decently speed feats, because we do know that Pain could casually defeat Kakashi, which Kakashi is known for being a lightning timer. Like he casually cut a real life lightning bolt in half. And well, we saw how he completely obliterated Kakashi. Make him, well, easily lightning timer. And that whole feat where Kakashi being able to cut lightning was during the time, it was pre-time skip, like pre-Shippuden, right? So you could easily say he at least gotten 3 times stronger, since the time scale was about 3 years, remember correctly, and Pain was like, much stronger than that, so he's at least a few times the speed of lightning. And like I said, it's really easy to go over Pain's speed. And moving on to his abilities now, like I said, I'm just gonna go over the Diva path Pain, but then I'm gonna go over all the other paths, just in case if I think I would need Shigaraki would need to fight all 6 paths. So the Diva path, which you shall know, he has manipulation over both attractive and repulsive forces, like his Chewbacca Sensei, Shinra Tensei, and Bansho Tensei, right? As well, and that was just like the Diva path's powers. But the Asura path is like one of the ones that allow the user to have mechanical limbs or weaponry, like shoot missiles, stuff like that. The human path allows the person to just like soul manipulation. Basically, you can steal someone's soul, you can even read person's mind via the soul, right? And the animal path allows the user to summon these like animal creatures. They're immortal. Every time they die, you can summon them again. And they offer their own unique set of abilities. Some can fly, some can turn you invisible, some are just meant to fight. There's a lot of good paths. Now the Preta path is another Pain that can absorb all forms of chakra, even some ninjutsus. The Naraka path, which in my opinion, the Naraka path has the best sound. I just love saying Naraka. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I said it. Just want to tell you. Which allows the person to summon the King of Hell, which basically is this like thing, like it's summoned, right? It's like hell. It's like Satan. They summon Satan, right? And if you tell a lie in his presence, he can rip out your tongue, as well as he can heal any other of anyone. And he uses that mostly to help the other Pains. Like they can go from having no arms, like disemboweled, they go in there, they come out, and they're fine. And then we have the final of the Outer Path, which allows the user to rule over rule over both life and death, and with the ability to manifest black chakra rods. And that would be all of Pain's stats.
世界を作り上げる。そのためにお前の美獣がな、もらうぞ、六尾。
頭が割れる。呼び鍛えたとでも。しかも神羅転生。
我々はペイン。
神だ。頭が割れる。ぶっ壊れろ。あのな、オーバーホール。個性消してやるって人間がさ、ちまう。
Man, I hope you guys liked that clip fight animation I did. I worked really hard. My last one, like Luffy versus Naruto, I kind of just like, that one was kind of rushed, and that was like more of a test. This was like more of like, I really wanted to try. So I hope you guys really liked that, but on to the subject at hand. Yes, if you guys watch the thing, Shigaraki does win. It's kind of by a landslide. If we go by the weakest you can get Shigaraki to is multi-continental, like I said, and 1.375 times the speed of light. But the strongest you can get Pain to is large country through continental to like a lightning timer. He would be over 3,000 times faster and much stronger. And that's just a lowball Shigaraki. If you go with the fact that he's comparable to a Prime All Might, which would make him all the stats times 60, he would be moon level, I didn't mention that, and he would be over 82.5 times the speed of light. And yeah, and I know a lot of people, this is gonna be hard for some of the Narutards or even Naruto fans to swallow, but Pain does lose. I understand. I love Naruto too, and Pain's a really good villain. He can't win this fight. He's way too outmatched, and and plus his abilities, Shigaraki's abilities would, be really hard for, even, well, Pain to know. His decay alone would be enough to probably knock him out, but as well now he has a hyper regeneration quirk, a search quirk, and like many other quirks that All For One had at his disposal, right? He's going to be easily able to outmatch him in almost every department. Yes, I agree that Pain should probably, he might be blown, Shigaraki might be blown off by the Renegon's Diva path, but still that would be for a few minutes until he's like, okay, that's enough, and kills him. Not to mention that even if we add all the other 6 passive Pains, there really would not be anything they could do. As shown, even Kakashi could one-shot the Asura path. The Diva path is the strongest physically and fastest physically path of them all. The other paths, even the Paka path, right? They would be useless. It couldn't even absorb ninjutsu. It would just be a meat shield. And yes, theoretically they could wear down Shigaraki with the Naraka path that could heal him, but after Shigaraki sees them get healed once, he'll probably just instantly kill it. They're way too outmatched, and I know you're gonna say, well, what if he steals the soul? Well, he would have to catch him first, which, even Shigaraki's own decay, right, has the thing now he can just decay anything in this area now. So they won't even be able to get close enough to even rip his soul out in the first place. So yeah, there's really nothing to do. Not to mention Shigaraki's a very good strategist. It comes from him being a gamer, which, hey, gamers, if you put a gamer in a boardroom, they would win you a war. That's all I'm saying. But in real talk, he was actually able to understand why he lost against, All Might in the USJ incident and plan his own new Battle of Strike. He literally plans all the fights. No, he plans out all this shit. And to read Destrio, how to capture Bakugo, he plans all this shit. He's literally one of the, probably in terms of battle strategy, he probably has a higher IQ to Pain. But yeah, honestly, it's a landslide. If we even go to low balls, he still one shots and instantly wipes him out. And if you go to high ball, it shouldn't even be a question. And yeah, I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but yeah, Shigaraki does end up winning this fight. Anyway, that's all. If you guys disagree, comment down in the section below. Maybe you can convince me, or I can convince you. Anyway, so that's all. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down if you want to see new videos from me, because I've been doing that a lot lately. Anyway, that's all. Mr. Crafty, out.